Okay, question 23. Dan does an experiment to find the value of pi. He measures the circumference and the diameter of the circle. It says he measures the circumference C as 170 millimeters to the nearest millimeter. And he measures the diameter D as 54 millimeters to the nearest millimeter. He uses the formula pi equals C over D to work out the value of pi. We're asked to calculate the upper bound and the lower bound for Dan's value. So let's just do a little table here, and we're going to work out the upper bound and the lower bound for both the circumference and the diameter to start. So the upper bound and the lower bound. Okay, we're going to have to work that out for both the circumference and also the diameter. Now, when we're dealing with problems involving bounds, bounds are to do with rounding. And basically, what it's telling me is Dan has made a measurement and he's rounded his answer to the nearest millimeter here. So if he's rounded his answer to the nearest millimeter and I want to work out what was the maximum it could be, well, we consider what 1 millimeter might be and we divide that by 2. So we divide that by 2, we get 0.5. And in order to get the upper bound, we're going to add that on to the value Dan had. So the upper bound is going to be 170.5. To get the lower bound, we're going to subtract the 0.5 away. So taking 0.5 away from 170, and we're going to get an answer of 169.5. Let's just change the color back to blue. 169.5. We're going to do the exact same thing here with the diameter. To get the upper bound, I need to add on half a millimeter. To get the lower bound, I need to take half a millimeter away. So the upper bound is going to be 54.5. The lower bound is going to be 53.5. Okay, now we're asked for the upper bound and the lower bound for his value of pi. Now you need to think carefully about this. Pi is going to work out to have a maximum value and a minimum value. Or not, I shouldn't say a maximum value and a minimum value. I mean to say an upper bound and a lower bound. So when it's asking for the upper bound, it's saying what is the biggest possible number Dan could have worked out given that he rounded these values. Well, if I want to maximize the value of pi, or to get the upper bound in this case, I need to use the biggest value for the numerator and the smallest value for the denominator. So to get the upper bound, for our value pi, I would have to use 170.5 for the numerator and 53.5 for the denominator. So take out the calculator and let's put that in. So 170.5 in the numerator and 53.5 in the denominator. And that's going to work out to be 3.186915888. Let's go to 2 decimal places because I have checked the mark scheme and this is all right. So let's go 2 decimal places here. 3.19 for the upper bound. 3.19. That's our upper bound. And let's work out the lower bound. The lower bound for our value of pi would be found by choosing the smallest value for the numerator and the biggest value for the denominator. So in this case, it's going to be 169.5 over 54.5. Again, get the calculator out. Let that do all the hard work. So clear that off. 169.5 over 54.5. That's going to work out to be 3.11009. Going to 2 decimal places again. Let's take it as 3.11. And that, ladies and gents, should get us all 4 marks.